For the first time in decades, this 1909 Gentleman's Rio Roadster is on display at the Vanderbilt Museum in Centerport. And this is the first time it's made up to look like a race car that actually ran in the 1908 Vanderbilt Cup race.
There are so few cars existing today that are in this condition and are available for museum viewing, and it's such a piece of history. It has been restored here and there over the years. Most recently, it was restored through the generosity of a donor. He gave us some new spare tires to have for effect for the back of the car, because a race car would always need spare tires because they had tires go flat during their race all the time. And we have some new paint added, and it has been cleaned up, and it really looks marvelous. It was very dirty and dusty in storage, and now it's back on display and in good condition.
Now back then they had to make several modifications to the Rio Gentleman's Roadster to get it ready to race.
We removed the fenders and the lights so that they wouldn't get filled with mud on the dirt race course. And we affixed a removable number that would have run in the race as a numbered contestant. The 1909 Rio Gentleman's Roadster held 2 passengers. It had an emergency seat in the back that would actually hold 2 more. Its original price back in 1909 was $1,000, and that included the flip-up top that it had on it to protect you from the rain. The car was 18 to 20 horsepower, 2-cylinder, a horizontal opposed motor, a 4 3/4 inch by 6 inch with automatic positive gear and gravity lubrication, 2 speeds and reverse by planetary gear with multiple disc clutch and direct noiseless chain drive. It had a 96-inch wheelbase, front axle I-beam section of high-grade drop forging, and rear axle tubular with roller bearings, 3 large brakes, transmission, sprocket, and hub. Its gasoline capacity was 12 gallons, its water capacity 4, with very little evaporation. It had 3 oil lamps, 2 gas lamps, with mirror lenses and a generator, a horn, tools, and a tire outfit. It could achieve speeds of 40 to 45 miles per hour. The Rio Motor Car Company from Lansing, Michigan was named after the initials of its founder, Ransom Eli Olds, following his departure from the Olds Motor Works, the manufacturer of Oldsmobile. Its cost of $1,000 for this 1909 model Rio would be equivalent to $23,600 today in 2010. Its chassis number was 17820, and its ownership history is not really known prior to 1959. Harry Gilbert from Huntington donated it to the museum as a gift that year. It was exhibited at Henry Austin Clark Jr.'s Long Island Automotive Museum in Southampton briefly, and it was on display at the Vanderbilt Museum in several galleries prior to being put in storage due to its deteriorating conditions. It's been restored in part and put back on display, much to our delight, and we hope you come down and see it. Its racing history is unknown, although we have it displayed as a racing car today. But a similar Rio Gentleman's Roadster raced as number N8 as the stock car in the Nassau Sweepstakes on the opening day of the Long Island Motor Parkway on October 10th in 1908.
The museum says this is an important display to teach visitors just how different racing in cars were back then, and the many different developments that came from these races.
I think it gives people a feel for the type of vehicles that were in these races and how small they were and how they didn't have the safety features our cars have today. There were no seat belts. They actually removed the windshield as well for these so that while you were racing at your high speeds with your goggles on, mud would be hitting you in the face, and that was the mechanician who rode with the driver. I'm sure that was one of his duties, is to wipe the goggles off every now and then so the driver could actually see where he was going.
For more information, you can check out their website at vanderbiltmuseum.org. In Centerport, Chris Collora reporting.